Alright, we're gonna have to make this quick because I'm pretty sure that the storage on my computer is not going as easy as I planned. We have that set back there for the some other claymation. Good evil, yay! We're finally doing it again. Instead of Project Headland Attributes, we're doing that set over time, if not for the vlog, for the Good Evil Chronicles set. So for the claymations of those, that's going to be a set tuned as well as the vlog as well. So the vlog will cover some of that as well. So there you go. This video is going to be mostly about the Good Evil Chronicles plot as updated to up until 2023. So as we enter 2024, hopefully entering into more of that production if we even do Good Evil at that point. But it's like the Good Evil story is basically that if it's even basic for 5 minutes or more, if I have enough time for that. But basically, this Matrix world, as foreknown already ahead of time, I'm not gonna act like that's a spoiler because no one knows what this is anyways. But like this Matrix world, this existing dimension, contains a various sorts of like science fiction and fantasy elements. It has aliens, it has demons, it has the Middle Ages, it has these robots and all those other things, all these other phantasmal, other mysterious creatures as well. There's these aliens that monitor a certain Middle Ages realm and planet and system. They use it as kind of a toy and experimentation stage, and something that they tend to do is they send experience to this Middle Ages world, and they test and try out new things, and even at some point entertain themselves with the humans are in the Middle Ages, and so at one point they get so excited about this that they send a one more experiment, which is of course Crab the Clockwork. They this is a bit of a spin off on that older story. It's a little different than that because this is a real bit of update, by the way. So that's what I'm saying. They send Crab the Clockwork to that Middle Age world to basically to give a pointer to the humans and see what happens when they realize that they're actually in the Matrix world, because they'll see that Crab the Clockwork can function, let alone any other robot they would see at that point. Because the idea of Crab is supposed to be the lowest terminology of every other advancement that they have. So every other bionic robot that they have, Crab the Clockwork being one of the lowest stages, so called, of that. And so when the aliens send Crab to the Middle Age world, they're trying to make an example and set the stage for the idea that they're not only in the humans are not only in the Matrix world and make that scare the crap out of them, but to show them that even a clockwork can run all the robots and the aliens and all that, so all the technology as well. Whatever cliche comes out of that. So they send Crab. What they do is then they make Crab tormented in a way where, over time, as he's sent to the human world, he's been tormented and thrashed around and tormented and shit to the point where he's forced to believe that even in spite of his own experimentation for the humans, he shouldn't have to expect anything differently. And so, if that makes any sense. So like he's sent to the human world to be that Matrix example and to be that insulting. Even a robot can function, let alone humans. We can do whatever we want with this robot. We can do whatever we want with these humans. We're in control. Yada yada yada. So it's like they send Crab, and what ends up happening is that not only does Crab eventually start to have a mind of his own, because he's supposed to have examples from his own story that are thralled a little bit, where he's supposed to witness events of good or evil, or have examples of things that represent humanity without necessarily needing it to be real, as per the Matrix world. He's supposed to fall through with the experiment as they'll control many ways to figure that out. But what ends up happening is that Crab develops a mind of his own, and he even develops his own philosophies for what even counts as good and evil, which was irrelevant to the Matrix goal. The Matrix experiment being that they're supposed to reveal to the humans on that world, the Middle Ages, that they're in a Matrix world and that even a robot can function in that world, that humans can control. But Crab starts developing philosophies for, primarily in this story, trying to prove that evil doesn't exist. Whoa. And then trying to see if he can even escape the Matrix world into the real world and other things in that nature. And what this ends up doing is it creates a catalyst into the Matrix world that allows the existence of darkest creatures, which should have only been existing in the real world and not in the other dimensions of that story. And even when the aliens bombed the demon world where Lloyd and Jack were, and Dark is created from the cataclysm of Crab's imagination and philosophies. So they're trying the coincidence of bombing the demon world from the aliens only back reinforces what Crab already believes to be his philosophy for good and evil not existing. So it's a major coincidence. Either that or something else happens that causes that to happen. The demon world exploding for the aliens. But it's like Yeah, I'll try to wrap this up a little bit. But like basically, this causes them to reinforce Crab's beliefs, and this just makes things even weirder. So the aliens try to like do everything in their power to prove that Crab is not right, and Lloyd also tries to. Lloyd assumes that Crab is the reason why the Matrix world is ceasing to exist, but it's really just because he has philosophies that are contradicting what the aliens want him to do. So everyone's in a misunderstanding at this point. The communication and the trust is a big part of the story, because the trust being that believing your own path, even when it goes against everything else in the world decides against it, and then the communication being important because communication is key in many regards. Considering that Crab can't even talk as easily, like literally like clanking shit. The text walls, not text walls all the time, but even any amount of text he'll put at that point, where Crab tries to speak and he won't even be able to speak at all, or he'll try to speak and it won't make any sense. You've seen this in some of the replay stories I did before. If you guys remember who I am, but and last thing I'll say is that yeah, so that's a basic primer on the plot. If this cuts off at any point, I'm sorry, but yeah, we will work on the claymation over time, but we won't have to force that down my throat too much. Not even for the vlog, let alone for the production of Chronicles as a claymation thing. You know, is that considered procrastination? Because I cut that like just today, so I wasn't procrastinating on the set that much, but I was just taking my time because I didn't want to push too hard. But yeah, this has been a bit of a primer on the good evil story plot thing. I have a thumbnail prepared for this video. It looks a little weird. It's good for me, in my opinion, honest personal opinion. That's good art. The thumbnail is of this video, but it could have been easily better if I was actually an artist or even legitimately sketching for once. But you know, it is what it is. But yeah, good evil story. I'll produce the claymation over time if I ever do. And then last thing I'll say for the end card is that I just wanted to make this video because I know I've been on the daily for quite a good while, and I want to keep that a little bit without pressuring myself too much, not burning out, but also still making videos I enjoy, which is kind of the point of all this whole thing, anyways. Most of the time at least.